Didn't get lane choice by much, though. Same ET did it on speed. Pro stock motorcycle, the two-wheel category now is Jerry Savoy, John Hall, Eddie Krawick, Andrew Hines pick their lanes against their opponents. It all kicks off with John Hall and Adam Arana.
See Adam 11th in points, trying to get into the top 10. It's going to have pretty much, I think,
pretty big gap.
Done deal, yeah. But still,
which is Angie.
Yeah, but and Angie's running very, very well, and that's one of the keys. But you still go out there and you just stay focused. You try to get the round wins. John Hall, though, he's been running well this weekend.
Previous to this, John Hall had gone 3 races without a round win. Can he make it 2 today in Sonoma? Yes, he can.
Yeah.
686.7 for Hall. Adam is right there with a 690 should anything happen. It didn't. And John Hall, qualifying out of the number 5 spot, moves into the semifinals. Time now for a Grime Boss Fix-It Pit Report. And a job for John Kernan.
And in Courtney Force's pit, talking to her crew chief, Ron Douglas, we mentioned they had a hole go out in that last run, so he's working on getting that fixed. Also, after looking at the early numbers, he needs to pick it up in the first 330 feet, and how he's going to do that is speed up the clutch.
Good look at a clutch pack there. A series of floaters and discs.
All fresh and either brand new or cut. You know, very precise to go out there and make those consistent race passes.
Andrew Hines is #1 in the power rankings this weekend. Well struck, Mike Dunn, going for the little mini sweep, if you will.
Well, yeah, mini sweep, but it'll actually be 3 events because he won Denver. He also won the Pro Bike Battle. So if he can win today, I'm going to say he basically swept his version of the Western Swing.
And what we're saying also is that the bikes will miss our Seattle event. They will also miss Brainerd, which gives them just the U.S. Nationals before the countdown begins. So the top 10 going to come into shape very quickly for this category. Andrew taking on Matt Smith, the reigning champion of the class 2013. Matt's got a couple hundreds in the bank, but Andrew Hines has a couple 5 more on the elapsed timer. 681 beats a 686.
I think that's a pretty impressive run. I mean, it's definitely not as hot temperature-wise as what we've seen on Friday. Sometimes at some point, Dave, as maybe a little bit warmer than yesterday, but Andrew Hines, this new motorcycle, it was similar to what we saw in Norwalk. Norwalk, he struggled in qualifying when he debuted it, but then got it all together on race day. He struggled on Friday, but then yesterday came back in qualifying and the battle, and boy, he's looking tough.
The O'Reilly Auto Parts NHRA Northwest Nationals, Seattle, Washington. We are coming your way next weekend with live ESPN3 qualifying Friday night at 8:30 p.m. in the East. Qualifying on ESPN2, a recap at 10 o'clock. And then on Sunday at 7 o'clock, ESPN2. 3 hours of final round coverage as we wrap up the NHRA's Western Swing, which nobody will sweep in 2014. Now, you saw the chief starter there with the watchful eye on Hector Arana. There's a problem going on over there. Hector in the lane opposite of Jerry Savoy, the #1 qualifier aboard the Suzuki.
Boy, Jerry Savoy, how amazing has that motorcycle been this weekend?
Jerry's been making the quickest Suzuki passes of all time, 6.810 seconds. That's the standard now. Another solid 683.9, good enough to take out Hector. So the man who missed the Denver event because he had to harvest all those alligator eggs, making it pay off today in Sonoma.
John Hall, you're kind of the quiet guy. I don't know if we can say you fly under the radar. You are the U.S. Nationals champion from last year. Quietly, effectively today, getting it done. How good is this bike?
The bike is great. You know, we've been struggling lately, but we're back on track. I am the quiet guy. I like to be under the radar. So we did win the U.S. Nationals. Hope to do it again. But before that, we hope to win this one. I have to not be the quiet guy for a second. Wish my wife a happy birthday so I don't have a real long flight home with her if I don't.
Jump up and click your heels.
Thank you.
Eddie Krawiec, Angie Smith, and expect a big announcement from Angie Smith and her team either tomorrow or Tuesday. Her sponsorship with Candy was supposed to run out at the U.S. Nationals, but what I'm hearing is it's going to become official on Monday or Tuesday that Candy is going to be sponsoring that bike for the rest of the season.
Angie's earned it too, hasn't she?
Absolutely, and that's great news because she's been making very, very consistent runs on that motorcycle, and that's key because you're going to have to get around Eddie Krawiec. Eddie's been a little bit off on the lights lately. You know, he's going to have to get that focus back that made me call him Steady Eddie.
She beat both Eddie Krawiec and Andrew Hines en route to that Wally, which she held in Epping. Can she do it again? She's second off the line here. But as we know, Eddie's been struggling to get past the second round for the first time in a long time, and Eddie Krawiec does. 6.82.0, 197.28 on the mile per hour, a career best elapsed time for Angie, but on the short side of Eddie right here.
Number 1 qualifier, Jerry Savoy. Boy, you've been putting in some terrific laps thus far this weekend, but you had a little bit of a problem there. What happened on this run?
Yeah, I plugged it into 6th gear and it didn't go in. I had to plug it twice. So, you know, 83 on that pass is really strong. And you got to thank Vance and Hines. They're giving us great power. When you're running against your competitor, Eddie Krawiec, and they're the ones designing the engines, and they're giving you this power, it goes to show you how fast this really is. So credit Vance and Hines.
See you in the semis.
Yes, sir.
The semifinals in pro stock on the top side feature a Suzuki versus a Buell as Savoy, despite not being able to get into 6th gear, picks his lane against John Hall. The other side, oh my goodness.
Oh boy, it's the teammates, Eddie Krawiec and Andrew Hines. Andrew Hines, can he sweep? First he's going to have to get around Eddie, who made a very nice pass, but Andrew will have lane choice.
Well, when we come back, it'll be semifinal time here at the Sonoma Nationals. Ashley Force in the building, along with the kids, Noah and Jacob John, giving the 16-time champ a brief moment to rest here, but he'll be ready for the semis.
It's my biggest baby.